And we should mention AEW is currently on right now, so there's a good chance that Tony added at least 5 to 10 more matches.
We're not real fans, damn it.
Plus, Rampage is on Friday, so that's going to be an extra few matches for the pre-show and then the pre-show.
So we're looking at
Uh,
like 20 matches, 4
20
a.m.
to
start time.
25 matches. But yeah, that's 7 matches it's a nice change.
So much better than
I know that,
I don't know
everybody
what.
has to get on the card, but like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna give some predictions. Full disclosure, neither of us have been watching AEW too closely. The last what couple
I'm
of months, give or
uh
take.
eh. So then
Uh,
why do people tune in for us? Nah, I wouldn't say a couple months. I've been honestly paying attention loosely to AEW, whereas the Bloodline stuff has just
sure.
been engulfed by everybody.
Yeah.
And I feel if you're a wrestling fan, you love what's going on with the Bloodline. However, the hottest commodity right now is that the young champion MJF has taken over the wrestling world yet again with his mic skills and really with just his overall personality, uh,
Yeah.
which is I think
Yeah.
it's everything's being built around this feud for Revolution, which is I think a focal point on why we wanted to like give our predictions. There might be some hot takes, there might not be not, but
I'm
yeah.
coming in spicy, man. I'm
Oh,
coming
good.
in spicy.
You do like
Yeah.
the spice. We like
Yeah.
to alternate spice.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I think AEW could use some spicy booking here. Just
Yes. Yes.
at like the guns, no, yeah, it was the
The
guns,
guns.
right? They
It's
won
just
the
guns.
tag
They won't.
titles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they need a little spicy booking, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's start out. Let's just pick some random matches to start with here. How about the AEW World Tag Team Championships Fatal Four-Way Guns Acclaimed? Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett versus TBD. Maybe it's going to be FTR. Maybe not. What do
Maybe
you
not.
think, man? Guns are coming in as the champs.
I think the guns retain.
Really?
I think so. And I don't think it'll be FTR. I think they come out at the end to set that up. I think that's what everyone, I think in a way that's the safer booking if you think about it, because they were feuding with the guns, or in a way. Before
Hmm.
they had, the like their send off where they were just dropping all their titles
Hmm.
to the Briscoes and in Mexico and New Japan, AAA. So like they had something going there, and it would be smart booking too. It's not even safe booking, it's smart booking too, because like we didn't forget about you. We didn't forget about you. We saw what you were doing, you pieces of crap, you Nepo babies. I defend Nepo babies, damn it. What else are they supposed to do? Just live their lives normally? Um, so like I feel like it'd be really good booking. The acclaim is still over, I think, in my opinion.
Yes. Yeah.
And it just goes to show you they don't need the belts. It's like one of those happy accidents, and it's usually something that doesn't happen until like further along in your career,
Hmm.
where like you're still over and you don't need a
Hmm.
belt. Like John Cena now is a commodity where obviously he never needs a world title ever again. Every time he pops up, like people will boo him, people will cheer for him. It's mainly cheer now,
Yeah.
uh, and because we missed the guy. It's hard to it's fun to hear the music. It's fun to see him wrestle. We miss him.
And he's actually like a good wrestler now.
Yeah, he's
Like
been
back in the day, he was genuinely pretty bad and rough.
he was
Now
copy and
he's like,
paste just like Orton was.
yeah, yeah, dude. The matches he had with AJ Styles, those were like
Ugh.
John Cena is just as responsible for those matches being good as
And
AJ Styles is.
and for putting him over.
Yes,
Except for the
big
when he
match,
won,
John.
except for him won with the world title, and then
Yeah, except the
but
time when he
but
when he beat
but
him.
but this is turning into WWE like sympathy for John
I
Cena.
have a comparison for the acclaimed actually in terms of you saying they don't need the belts. The New Day.
Yeah,
I think the New Day is a good
oh
example of
yeah,
like
that's a
if a
great
team
example.
gets yeah, if they get over enough. When was the last time the New Day were tag champs? Like, I don't know, 2 years ago? It's been a long time and they're
I
still super
well,
over.
are we gonna count the NXT tag title runs?
maybe.
I
Not
mean,
like,
I get it. I get it. It was more to put talent over. So I
yeah.
get what you're saying. I feel like I don't know if you actually accidentally left it out or on purpose.
Oh no, I just straight up forgot. Yeah.
You fake bad.
I'm a
You fake bad.
casual.
Um,
But yeah, I that is that is interesting. I'm gonna go the opposite. I'm gonna say the Acclaimed winning back.
okay.
I see no problem right now in just hot potatoing the tag titles because the tag division, based on the people in this match are
Mm-hmm.
showing the tag division's a little weak right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I I mean, I would love to see Penta and Ray be the final team.
That too.
Uh,
That'd be nice.
I can't really figure out like what the rules are between the trios division and the tag division. Like it
Can
doesn't
they
seem
all
like
win
they're
that?
really allowed to move back and forth.
No Freebird rule?
Yeah, then like sometimes you are. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Um, yeah, I say, you know what? Fuck it. Put the titles back on the Acclaim. Just hot potato the belts
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah,
Um,
why not?
let's jump around to another one. TNT Championship. Samoa Joe, Wardlow. Again.
Again. Honestly though, like
Again.
it just because he came back kind of hot and with that promo, I'm like, oh, okay, Wardlow, you got me a little bit interested. And because of that, I feel like they're gonna latch on to him being more of a company guy that was there kind of from the beginning, whereas Joe wasn't. I think Wardlow wins.
Mm.
I think Wardlow's gonna win it back. I mean, he's a baby face, and like in a way, he is kind of sympathetic, and it's a good story. Yeah, it's like it's a good story in the sense that it makes sense.
Mm.
But should he win? Honestly, no. And I think Joe should face other people, and have banger of a matches. Not saying that Wardlow can't go either, but I just like I'm a little bit biased because I've been watching Joe wrestle since I was a kid.
Hmm.
Um, so with Wardlow, I don't know how much more he could do, even though I do love yeah, I do love when he does the whisper in the wind.
Dude,
Uh,
okay. I want to say Wardlow's really good, and I feel like if they stopped making him do these like squash matches where he just does the power bomb symphony.
which is still over, kind of.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But I feel like it would let him kind of like come out of his shell a little bit more. I don't know. It's hard to not compare him to Batista.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes like Batista eventually found a style that worked for him. Like if sometimes
Mm-hmm.
if you let these guys just go, kind of like the Triple H theory with like NXT takeovers, was like
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you 20 minutes and
Mm-hmm.
maybe you'll become a star, maybe you won't. But
Which
yeah,
I see what you mean, and I don't know. It's just I just feel like because Wardlow's kind of still new to the wrestling biz, and
yes,
especially
that is
TV.
true.
So like compared to Joe, like Joe has been doing this since he was like fucking a teenager.
Hmm.
Um, so like he needs someone to not carry him per se, but someone to lead, or as like the other term is general, like be a general.
Hmm.
Um, like someone like Jericho could carry him. AJ would easily be someone to carry him and probably bring out an amazing match with him. Um, Joe's the type of person who wrestles, you know, anybody. Obviously, he's that versatile of a body. Um, I hope this match is the recoming out party for Wardlow, and then if in the match it like organically moves for like, yeah, we want to see Wardlow win, then it's gonna be great. And
Mm.
then it makes sense for him to have the title. And you're right, I agree with you. Like then don't have him squash people. Like let him just go. Like let him go with like Cassidy, maybe champion versus champ in a non-title match, and see how like cool that could be. Or
Powerhouse Hobbs.
here you go.
Where is Powerhouse Hobbs? He
Or
still work
Ricky.
for AEW.
Yeah. So
Uh,
like I think it's Wardlow.
I'm gonna go with Samoa Joe.
Mm.
And hear me out. Hear
Mm-hmm.
me out, because I think this goes a little bit towards a future match on the card. If I was AEW, I would just rebook the MJF Wardlow as his security stuff. I would just rebook it
Hmm.
because I think there's something there if you like beat Wardlow and then he just like is super down on himself and MJF is turning into this champion psycho uh who I feel like really needs just somebody in his corner.
Mm-hmm.
And considering the way that whole angle went the first time because MJF like didn't want to do the job and wanted a new contract and all that, I would just have Wardlow lose and rebook it. Because otherwise I don't know if you do beat Wardlow, I don't know how you eventually go into an MJF Wardlow feud, which I feel like they shouldn't wait on it. I feel like, you know, they're both back. You should try to get that feud going as soon as you can. And I don't know if you can do that if Wardlow loses without a storyline reason. And if he wins, then he's the mid-card champion again. So, you know, you're gonna start to run out of competitors for MJF to face.
Hmm.
But yeah, it should be. I mean, what do you think? 10 minutes this match goes?
10 minutes, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
If there was if one of the guys involved was smaller, although I don't know, wouldn't it be kind of cool if this was like a 20-minute banger? Like these two just put on
Like
like
I
a
said, organic. Like let's see what happens. But
yeah.
but I don't think so because again, just because of the different the difference in experience. I mean, I know
Yeah.
Joe could probably give you 20 minutes easily because he's just that good of, but also you got to think about his health. Like he is injury prone, so maybe he can go his 20 minutes. You think he can, but maybe
Yeah.
not. Maybe he doesn't want to because of his body breaking down after all these years. And organically, like you can't as much as I like to throw that word around, you can't really do that in the wrestling business too much because then you know you go over time and someone else's time get cut, and you don't want that. And
They do not
typically,
have that luxury on this card because there is literally a 1 hour match.
yeah.
All right. AEW Women's World Championship. Jamie Hayter versus Soraya versus Ruby Soho.
Ruby, 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 Ruby Soho.
Triple threat.
Um, I just think, I mean, I think the safe bet is that Hater retains, but I'm gonna go with the route that Ruby wins. Fuck it. Let's go. Ruby
Wow.
wins. Ruby wins by, uh, let's say, I guess cartoon shenanigans. By that, I mean like everyone comes out, and by that she like takes advantage, and that's okay because baby faces deserve to take advantage when people are cheating. Even though it's going to basically a triple threat match. The rules go out
Mm,
the window. So
hmm
it gives room to like protect Soraya, and you want to keep Soraya strong because she's like one of your essentially top women right now, and she's trying to also.
Apparently.
I mean, she is supposed to be. You paid the good bucks for her, and
Yeah.
has it worked out at first? Yes, but then like I guess they forced her to be babyface, which wasn't the best option. And thankfully, they didn't pull Roman Reigns or whatever you or whoever, where like they just forced a babyface on you and they just organically turned her heel, which is fine. It's great.
Yeah.
It works out that way. But Jamie Hayter is more heel in my opinion, even though like everyone cheers the shit out of her. I guess you can argue she's more of a tweener, and Ruby's definitely the babyface. So I don't know. I think like a babyface hasn't held the title since. That's not true. Tony had it. I don't know. I say Ruby wins because she deserves like she deserves a run. Damn it, even if it's a short run.
Yeah, she really does. I'm gonna say Jamie Hayter retains.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's funny. As much as AEW's women's division is usually not booked very well,
Mm-hmm.
this match in particular does feel like there is some potential for like storyline
Mm-hmm.
shenanigans because you could have Tony Storm cost Saraya the win,
Mm.
pull the ref out or pull her off of the pin or something because Tony doesn't want to see this person that she literally just became friends with like
Mm-hmm.
a few weeks ago uh, win the title that she just lost. Um, you could do something with Britt Baker in there, could get involved in some way. Um, I really don't want Ruby to get pinned because it just feels like she gets pinned a lot. But it feels like Jamie should retain. But
Mm-hmm.
you know what? I appreciate your prediction because, like I said, AEW could use some occasional spicy booking.
Mm-hmm.
I see no problems with putting the title on Ruby. Also, sometimes we talked about this, but like everybody else in this match is already pretty over.
Mm-hmm.
So the one that could use the title is probably Ruby Soho.
Yeah.
because Jamie Hayter's over. Soraya's gonna keep being on TV whether people like it or not.
Hmm.
You've got Britt, you've got Tony Storm. Eventually, Thunder Rosa is coming back, hopefully. Though it sounded like she had kind of a setback, or the injury was worse than they thought. Um,
Yeah.
so it'll be cool to see Ruby win. I think Jamie is probably going to retain. And let's go on to the Ricky Starks, Chris Jericho with the Jericho Appreciation Society banned from ringside.
Mm.
I should mention before we go into this, Ricky Starks already beat Chris Jericho at the beginning of this feud. So I don't really know what they're feuding about anymore.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know how I already lost count of like who's won and who's lost. He beat him in a singles match already, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, it was part of the
yeah,
losing streak that they started. Look, Chris Jericho you- gets it, and he gets it right sometimes, and he gets it
yeah,
wrong sometimes. He's overdone this. I think
yeah,
he messed up the Eddie storyline. Eddie should have gone over.
yes.
Um, yeah. So I just think I think Ricky needs to win. Hopefully Ricky wins. Ricky needs to win. My pick is Ricky. I don't know what else to say. If Chris is trying to make stars, then Ricky needs to go over.
Yeah, this seems pretty cut and dry.
Yeah.
There's only one person who should win this match, and it's not Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Also, what is the
Mhm.
point of the whole Ricky Starks push if you're going to have him lose at the big pay-per-view?
Mhm.
Seems like, yeah, and especially with like, okay, assuming JAS is actually not going to show up at ringside, which the
Yeah.
fact that it says banned from ringside makes me think they're definitely
And
going to
then
be
gonna be
there.
yeah.
It
Or there's gonna introduce a new JS member to cat. I can't wait to see it. Damn it.
just no, you can't beat Ricky Starks. This guy's already had such an uphill battle, like
Yeah.
trying to get
He
over
got
as like a
over.
legitimate new star.
Yeah.
You
He was
can't pin him on the pay-per-view.
yeah. Him and Andretti were it was working and I don't know what happened.
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah.
ah well.
All right,
Oh,
John Moxley versus Hangman Page
ah.
Texas Death Match.
I don't know, man. I really don't know who the fuck wins this one, man.
This
Uh
could go this could go either way. I was getting some NXT takeover vibes
yeah.
from this match of just like not really being able to figure out.
You know what it is too? I think they botched this in a way. The final match should have
Really?
been here. The final, yeah, because John beat him. He's won two out of the three.
Yeah.
So this should have been the third match, unless unless like you know what this should have been. This should have been a Texas death match with the stipulation best two out of three. So then, and add an extra two out of three. So then that would have been best four out of seven, right, or whatever, something like that.
Sure, yeah,
No,
yeah.
whatever. It would
Yeah,
have
I see
just,
what you mean.
yeah, you get what I mean. Yeah, like so,
Yeah,
then, so like if Hangman pins him, then they're tied three apiece
right.
or two apiece, whatever. And then if John beats him, then he goes up by one, and then so on and so forth. I don't
Yeah.
know. There's something missing about this. I don't know. I think Hangman wins, honestly.
I think he has to.
I think he has to. Yeah, if he loses again, then they're tied.
Yeah.
But then like there needs to be a tiebreaker. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think Hangman has to win. He's the one who has to win. Uh, he's the younger star. I mean, this
Yeah.
is the wrestler of the year now, though. This is the pretty much one of your faces of the company, and John. So, but he could afford a loss. Hangman at this point he can't, especially after being concussed, losing already to him. It's hard. It's really hard. So I think he has to win though.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna go with Hangman. I heard maybe it was Wrestle Talk, I can't remember. They pitched the idea of him potentially being the next number one contender.
Okay.
I look, man, I like Hangman Page. He has been in like the AEW title picture way too many times. We need some fresh faces. I he deserves it for sure,
Mm-hmm.
but like it's the same rotation of guys. It's Moxley, it's Hangman, it's
Mm-hmm.
Danielson. I need somebody else. I need, give me a Wardlow match. Just put someone else
Yeah.
in the main event, please. Because it's the last year of AEW
Yeah.
has just been kind of a rotation of the same people as world champion.
Okay. Oh, by the way, before we move on, it's the final tag team is Cassidy and Danhausen.
North American, no, North American, All Atlantic champion Cassidy.
Yeah.
Interesting. So that title's not going to be on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, but I don't think it ever was supposed gonna be
Yeah,
so.
it's more of a TV championship.
Yeah.
Okay. Trios titles. The Elite versus the House of Black.
There's a no-brainer who I want to win.
Right.
I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm still gonna go for it anyways. House of Black goes over. They need
Mm,
to. I think they need to win too.
yeah.
They're falling. They were so good, and then Black left because of personal reasons,
Hmm.
and then we saw like the House of Black, quote unquote, face Darby and Sting and lose, and then come back and be like these monsters again. But I feel like it just felt like, yay, they're back, but
Yeah,
like
something's missing with them.
something's missing. But I think they need a good showing, and obviously a good showing with the Elite is gonna elevate them, and then hopefully it's like when I want what happened when we saw the Acclaim not win the
Mm,
titles, and then
hmm.
like they should have just put it pull an audible and just put them on anyways.
Yeah.
That's what I want to happen. Like, even though House of Black are the heels and the Elite is kind of like technically tweeners because I mean that's they're like showboating baby faces in a way, but it comes off
Right.
as heelish. So I don't know. Like, also just House of Black is cool. They're cool. They're really cool. Like their entrance is cool. Their getup is cool. Malachi Black is cool. He's a great athlete. He's a great wrestler, and he's a great leader for this. So I feel like they need to win.
Yeah. I think they should win based just again, I'm trying to stay consistent.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see new champions. Like
Yeah.
I need to see new faces
Yeah.
on TV, new faces at the top of the card.
Yeah.
And also, I think there is a benefit if you beat one of the Young Bucks, maybe. I get you don't want to pin Kenny Omega
No, for sure.
because New Japan's going to want him back at some point. But I really think they got to split up the Elite for a little while. I would love to see Kenny versus Samoa Joe. I
Mm-hmm.
like so some fresh matchups. Like I would love to see Kenny more in the mid card for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see the Bucks go back to the tag team division for a little while, and just mix it up a little bit
Yeah.
because if you beat House of Black again, it feels like you're running out of credible champions. Like as
Mm-hmm.
much as people dunked on the Guns winning the tag belts, it's like you didn't really have that many like credible champions anyway. So eventually
Mm-hmm.
you're going to end up in a spot where the people that have the belts aren't really like that legit. But it's like, well, it takes time. You know what? Sometimes you
Right.
got to take a gamble. And I mean, first of all, House of Black deserves it. So, they shouldn't have been losing all this time. They shouldn't have been off TV for such a long time and like
Mm-hmm.
weren't even on Rampage. Like, I mean, it's insane how Malachi Black, Aleister Black seems to get shafted every company he goes to. But I think that would be great. They're the trios champs. They would be main eventing the shows more often.
Mm-hmm.
They get way more exposure because we know them and like most of the AEW audience probably knows them. There are probably some people who don't really know them or aren't certainly not that familiar with certain members. And they're all
Mm-hmm.
super talented. So I'd love to see fresh champions. All right, man. I saved the best for last.
The main event.
The main event for your evening with a 60-minute time limit. MJF versus Brian Danielson. 60-minute Iron Man match for the heavyweight championship of the world. What do you think?
I should just one quick tidbit or note. I always personally think there shouldn't be a weight restriction when it comes to world titles. So I still think it should just be the AEW World Championship. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. We don't
Um,
need another Neville cruiserweight situation.
yeah, or Rey Mysterio went after he won Big Gold, which was clearly the heavyweight title, but it
Yes.
became the World Championship, whatever. Anyways, I mean, He can't lose. He just won it. But just to be spicy, Bryan Danielson goes over.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the same thing, man. Fuck it.
Really? I knew it. I knew
Yeah,
you were gonna
dude,
say it.
fuck it. Switch it up, man. Let's start
Like
hot
hot
potatoing
potato.
some of these
Yeah,
belts,
make
dude.
cause some chaos. Get the fans to talk and say, this is stupid. You're burying MJ. I need people to cry in a way.
Yeah,
Even though in a way people do actually, I feel like genuinely hate MJ because of how good of a fucking heel he is and how good of an actor he is and just how he so well he plays that classic distasteful heel where like even though in real life he is a really nice dude and has
yeah.
social anxiety or
Sweet
anxiety.
little Jewish boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just a good dude.
He's just a good guy. And then
Yeah.
meanwhile he's gonna fucking insult your child in front of your face and like, should I be
Right.
mad? It's like,
Commit
no.
vehicular manslaughter, casually talk about it on television.
And getting fellatio.
So have you how closely have you been like paying attention to the recent MJF stuff on
I
TV?
missed last week's because I was away on vacation.
Yeah, yeah.
So I haven't gotten a chance. I have been terrible with the cook since I've been back. I haven't been able to cook. I've barely been cooking. I've barely eaten. Like I was eating so well in Mexico.
Mm,
I was eating so well that I just,
hmm.
man, I should have gone to see some lucha libre. That's some real wrestling. Not
Oh,
kidding.
that would have been pretty sick.
Yeah. Uh, so I'm just like, I've obviously been following since the feud started, especially when the news that Rigo might be leaving after they writ him off, and then I'm like, okay, I got to pay close attention to this. And then
Mm-hmm.
the story was to pay, I guess in a way that was the agreement. Like, let's put Brian into the main event again
Mm-hmm.
by having me right off, and that's clearly what was done. And obviously, it's been interesting since they did that, and it hasn't let up. They've kept their momentum, in my opinion. In my
Yeah.
wholehearted opinion, I think they've kept the momentum. The stuff with Takeshna, um, everything that MJF been doing to get into Brian's mind and give him like, kind of disrespect the business and have like you like having Brian in the way he's like what the Miz should have the feud him and the Miz should have had in WWE, but because MJF is just better than the
Mm-hmm.
Miz now, unfortunately,
And he knows it.
and he knows it. Um, And obviously, CM Punk called him out as like a discount Miz. And boy, no, that's not a discount Miz. The Miz wishes he could
Oh.
have the nuclear heat and Mike skills that he has. And the go away heat, but the go away heat is not like we hate you and annoy you because we just want you to go away because you do a great job. So we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
play into you, to your character. It's just like it's different and it's working. It's working. It's literally what it's even though I know Brian and Miz don't like each other in real life, the Miz cries watching these segments because he wishes he had what him and MJF have. So I
Yeah. Yeah. MJF's been on another level.
yeah, and
Really has.
Brian's having one of the best runs of his career. He's wrestling. He's wrestling. He's having the matches that he wants to have. He's being a wrestler, the banned word
Mm-hmm.
by Vin McMahon. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
he's doing what he loves, and that's another thing that I guess if you're a purist in a way, or someone who's followed Danielson's career since the Indies to WWE and back to like away from corporate hand, you have a tear in your eye because he's doing again what he loves, and that's competing,
Well,
wrestling.
it's funny you should mention all this because this is what the MJF promo was about.
Oh Jesus!
And it was a very good promo. It was almost too good because
Uh-uh.
he took
I gotta watch it now.
everything you just said about
Uh-huh.
Bryan Danielson coming back, wrestling, getting
Mm-hmm.
cleared, all that stuff. And he flips it on its head and says that makes you selfish. That makes you a bad father
Oh
because you
no,
could
he
have
didn't.
stayed at home and taken care of your kids,
Holy
and
shit!
instead you're here on any moment your career could be over again and you'll be in even worse shape this time. And it was one of those promos where it's like
Who
it's like,
wrote
why are
this?
you booing me? I'm right. Like sometimes in wrestling there are those promos where you're like, all right, this is really good. This is almost too good though, because like
Mhm.
now you got me thinking about it, and I'm like, yeah, I guess I could kind of see. It reminded me a lot of the Randy Orton Edge feud from a few years ago when
Mm-hmm.
Randy Orton was like, "No, I'm I'm trying to get you to stop wrestling because I'm your friend because I love you
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to see someone else hurt you."
Mm-hmm.
And it's like there's this thing happening with MJF. I don't know if this is the direction he's going,
Mm-hmm.
but there's like this crazy psycho turn that it seems like he might be messing around with, maybe
Mm-hmm.
sort of like what Tommaso Ciampa did, where he just became like blindly obsessed with the championship, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Treated it like it was a living person, like a family member.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good MJF promo, but he's obviously not going to lose as much as we would love to fuck around, and I think it'd be cool to see Danielson win. Um, I just don't see why you would take the belt off of MJF.
Mm-hmm.
My pick is still Danielson, just because I think that's more fun.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's
Like
an Iron
fun.
Man match. Like what's fun about the Iron Man match is that they can both lose
Yeah, that's
and
true.
they can both get pinned like multiple times. I think it's better if you do 2 out of 3, and I don't want to see MJF get pinned like 7 times and he pins
Mm-hmm.
Danielson 8 times. Like that's just Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins had a match like that, and it was really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but he's uh he's going down an interesting path.
Mm-hmm.
And basically the rest of the promo was just like he doesn't have anyone left in his life, and only reason he's getting out of bed in the morning and basically like not ending it is
Mm-hmm.
because he wants to be champion forever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a fun direction because I think MJF, in my opinion, can only go so far with like these audience people are all fat and ugly and stupid, and your
Mm-hmm.
sports team sucks. And I think when he starts to tap into the more like psychological, kind of like psycho Randy Orton, Tommaso Ciampa vibes of like, is this guy kind of unhinged?
Yeah, yeah.
I think that could be a fun place for his character to go. Also, just like the evolution of MJF, like we've seen him evolve from, your football team sucks. I'm wearing the other team's jersey that beat your team. Boo me. And now we're seeing him turn into this like the only reason I'm even still on this crazy path of life is because I'm the champion and I want to be the champion forever.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. I think something along the reins of like MJF's reign of terror could be kind of fun just because he's such a fun character. And I would not be against like them just running this feud for another show. Like just
Mm-hmm.
sticking. I don't know when the one after Revolution is. If it's too far away, forget it. Like if it's in like July, never mind. But if they're running a show in like June,
Right.
like it's not that crazy to just like keep it going for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But they would have to have like a bloodline level like planned out story of like how do we keep this going for that long. But yeah, this is gonna be a very good match. But for anyone who has not seen that most recent promo, it adds a lot to this feud. I don't know how they interacted today or if they're going to interact on Friday. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Very interesting, my friend.
Well, that's all the matches, man. That's all the matches. That's all we got for
That's all
now.
we
I
got for
mean,
now.
wait, look, they're gonna add like 5 more, but it doesn't matter.
It
We
doesn't
talked about
matter.
all the ones that are relevant.
There's gonna be a pre-show. There's gonna be like five,
Yeah.
10 matches on that bitch. I'm good.
Yeah.
Oh, let's do a quick fun prediction before we sign off. How much time do the women get? And this is the bathroom match.
The women's match is definitely the bathroom match.
Oof.
I think they get 10 minutes.
I say 7.
Oh, I was gonna say 5, and I was like, that's really mean.
No, I don't think
Uh,
they'll get 5, but I think they get like 7 or 10. If they get more than 10, Tony's paying attention. Thank you, Tony.
I will say the one reason they could get more than 10 is that I could see Ricky versus Jericho and Joe versus Wardlow both being also 10 minutes.
Hopefully.
So maybe that means the women get 15 to
Jericho
tell
still
a
has an ego.
story.
Jericho still has an ego, so I think he's gonna get like 15 to 20
I
minutes.
know, you're probably right. Yeah,
Uh,
the women's match is probably still the bathroom match, but Okay, we'll say in their defense, I think they have a chance to have one of the sleeper matches of the night because the three people in that match are all really good.
Yeah, they are. They really are.
Yeah, and this is a super strong card. I think the weakest match, in my opinion, is probably the
Starks.
tag team titles.
Really, I think it's Starks and Jericho just because like they lost momentum like a month ago.
Yeah, that's true, but I'm trying to give some love to Ricky Starks. I don't want to
I
bury
mean,
him, man.
he
Well,
has time. He has time, but
he
I get what you
does.
mean. I get what you mean.
He
It's
does.
weakest, and it doesn't need to be on there in a way, or it doesn't need to be a fatal four way at least. Whatever. Let's
Depends
get
how
out of
long
here.
they go, man. If
Yeah.
like I think Jericho could still do a banger match in 10 minutes, but I think if he's gonna fucking Triple H at Mania where he would force these like 30-minute matches,
Mm-hmm.
then I think it's gonna drag and it's probably not gonna be that good.
Mm. Oh well.
Yeah, that's all we got. Thanks for
Thank you.
tuning in. We
Thank you.
appreciate you guys.
Mm-hmm.
And as always, we will of course be watching the show legally because that's what we do every time there's an
Woohoo!
AEW
Woohoo!
review.
Hooty hoo! Hooty hoo! Sign off! Sign off! They're on to us.
Uh, thanks for listening, y'all. Talk to you in the next
Peace.
one.
Peace.